Hey everyone, we are back reviewing House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5. We have 114 people here to give their thoughts on this insane episode. It started off beautifully with flesh and blood, burnt skin. How's everyone doing? How's Ronin? How's Bizzy? Sam, Rye, Mike, and Keaton. We got everybody
Put
here.
your cloaks up. Put your cloaks
I ain't gonna
up.
lie, I'm getting cooked.
This show is freaky as fuck.
That's what Aegon said.
Oh,
no. Literally.
That's way.
It's like
too
last
soon.
episode we watched a
They not
man
like us.
like
They not like
disintegrate from
Not no more.
fire
Look,
like into sand like fucking
That poor man.
Spider-Man.
He was fused to that metal. I don't see no
Yeah,
look
and
at
then-
it now.
Yeah, this
Man.
episode
He
they have
earned that
to
up.
peel the armor off of him.
he looking
He
just
earned
Yeah,
like
who
his
said
daddy.
it? Was it Bizzy who said
Yeah.
it was like dragon scales?
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah.
peeling it off.
A grayscale.
He-
Great.
No.
No,
I was
it-
thinking
he
dragon
said-
scales
he's-
in the sense
Yeah,
of,
he said dragon scales.
I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking of the disease. I was thinking of like quite literally like the way they were peeling off the armor. It was coming off of in shells as if it was like
Mhm.
Nah, he
scales.
roasted.
Yeah.
And they had to have done that on purpose. It was beautiful, as sick as it looks. You know, it was just. I just thought it was poetry. I thought it was really cool.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
looked just like his daddy.
Hell yeah.
That junk
That's
was
messed
bad.
up.
That man was looking
Yeah.
like Two-Face, bro. It was really freaking bad.
I mean, he earned it.
Right.
He earned all that. He earned
Look.
all that.
He didn't put
Aemon-
himself in that situation, to be honest.
he
bro.
roasted
did.
his brother, and his brother roasted him back. That's what happened.
That's
what
Literally,
happened.
bro, I'd start.
That's what
Why would-
happened.
Oh.
The puns,
what
the
happened.
puns.
Everybody,
this was
everybody got a
the-
point.
Damn.
Oh,
My boy was
Oh,
from
Got
Avatar,
him
God.
looking like Vecna.
Aegon,
my
you're fired.
God.
Rhaegar is coming, and it's probably a
my
fire.
He got the Anakin treatment.
Got him looking like
For real.
Vecna for real.
Legit Vecna.
They brought his body in, right? But
Yeah.
they used what as a distraction? Meleese's
They-
head, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first they
Dragon,
rolled
yeah.
in Meleese's head, and then they had his body in a cardboard box. And
Yep.
I don't know if they
What in there?
said anything to explain who was supposed to be in there,
I
but
think
they
they were
were
supposed to say it was
Oh.
her body.
I
They
think
said
it was like-
Denise's body, but it was really.
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
Aegon's.
Yeah,
They
they
did a
wanted
really
him
good
to
job
think-
with
yeah.
that.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I was Meleese. We ain't had to die. They could have just kept on flying. They could have just
Realistically,
kept on flying.
the word has gone out that Aemon's in charge, and it's clear if Aemon's in
Aemon.
charge. Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. If Aemon's in charge, then it's clear that something happened to Aegon, and
Right.
So it's
There's
like,
a power vacuum.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
everyone's
the
aware
fact
of
that
it
that
now.
word came out is just a
Mhm.
little questioning, but there's so many different people that are going to be stepping up in the next few episodes, and I think a big thing for me is something that they built up in the last maybe 2 episodes ago. I think it was when they introduced a bastard, which was
Mhm.
really interesting considering where we're going with
Mhm.
this, where we have Vhagar. We need someone who can, take on Vhagar. We got 2 dragons down yonder who need dragon riders. And at this point, we're going by that 1-drop rule. So we're going for anybody that can, have that Targaryen blood. You know what I'm saying?
You made that joke.
Send the decree.
So, I
And
mean,
also, I want to clarify the spoiler. The blacksmith is actually a Targaryen bastard.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
I knew it.
He's a Valarian bastard.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
talking about the black guy?
No,
not the
the
black
white guy.
No, he's talking
The white
about the
guy.
one that has a
Hugh?
daughter.
You're talking
Like
about
that.
He
Hugh.
has
Okay.
the silver
Yes.
hair for no reason.
Yeah.
Yes, no, yeah,
He's
no.
old.
I,
There are old people with silver hair, but also
I understand.
Not
but
in-
no,
not in
no,
this
they
world.
did- No,
I thought he was an old man
I
with white
looked it
hair.
up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This world, if
Okay.
you got white hair, it's because your
Fair
mom
enough.
was
Yeah.
having blood.
Yeah.
I mean, they honestly have paid a lot of attention to him the moment he went to Aegon. Like they've been focusing on him the whole entire time. I think our perception was, okay, they're giving somebody on the outside that's not involved with all this, and they're getting a perspective looking in. But I kind of felt like, no, there's
Yeah.
something deeper with him. So that kind of checks to me, Mike.
Mhm.
I just don't know what that means because we technically got 2 different situations between him
Mhm.
and this one right here.
And this one right
Yep.
here. See,
So-
I told you. Yeah. See,
It's exciting times. But go ahead.
Yeah.
But
The blacksmith is
No, no.
Hugh Hammer. That's his name. Hugh Hammer.
Okay.
Hugh Hammer.
But we had that
hard
That's
name.
a
It is.
hard ass
Hard.
name.
They were
Yo.
Damn, that's a
focusing.
porno name right
Is
there.
that his name?
For real.
Is that actually
I-
him?
Yeah,
Hugh
that's
Hefner's
not unusual.
great-great-granddad.
Aunt
I
always
know
takes
he got
care.
some
Aunt
bastards
always
out
They
there.
got lazy with that name, bro.
I ain't come up no you have, but they knew what they were saying.
Like, right. What's his name? Black Dynamite. Like, okay.
All right.
I'm serious. Hey, listen, I didn't make the names. I just read them.
Oh my god.
But like
Blame it on me.
realistically, they were having that moment where they were like conversing about what they were gonna do. They're like, "Oh well, we can't stay in this situation. Where are we gonna go?" And it was clearly obvious. They're like, "Okay, what other options do we have?" It's like you join Team Black, you get a dragon. I mean, like she's like Oprah at this point, just
You
giving them out. So
possibly
it's like
get a dragon.
You get a dragon.
possibly.
You can try for
You
a
can
dragon.
try. You can try. That's key. That's key.
We have a
But I
power
really like
backing,
what they're doing.
right? On both sides, black and green. All right. Alicent. We need to talk about Alicent. We need to talk about that scene, right?
Well, dude, her acting in this, I mean,
Incredible.
she was on it.
Chris.
She did so
Chris.
much with very little verbiage. It was like she looked and internalizing everything that she had already gone through all over again. The difference is she's looking at it from Rhaenyra's eyes because she hadn't had to deal with this on this level. She knew she could have been done this, but it's like, okay, when the time has come,
Look at that
King is
look.
literally burnt to death. Nobody has any kind of understanding of what needs to happen, and she's got a direct plan, and they're looking at her like, nah, you can't do that. I'm sorry,
Bro, that has to be like
I
a meme,
love
bro.
it.
That is such a
And-
good photo, dude.
That is so good.
love it.
That's gonna
I
be
love
He's
it
everything
so
they
much.
could accuse Daemon of being.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
At
love
least
how-
man Damon's
much.
guilty or feels guilty.
This
I
is
love
he's still
how
a bitch.
Alicent is like clearly trying to atone for the sins of her womb. Because she gave birth to like two absolute pieces of shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
Absolute pieces of shit. One is a rapist, one is trying to kill the other one.
she
because
made it
the
though.
rapist
She could
is a piece
have
of shit.
raised them better. She didn't.
She
To be
could
fair,
have.
he's
They were
trying
too
to.
busy
To be
plotting.
fair, Aemon's trying to
She
kill a
could have.
rapist. Does that make him a bad person?
She
No.
couldn't have raped. She
Aemon
couldn't
is
I mean, he did,
bad.
his dragon did eat a teenager child.
Aemon is bad
But he felt
because he's
bad.
a product
No.
of his environment.
And she
Aemon
could-
is a product of his environment, so he is the more
Very
empathetic
true.
figure. If
Hey,
He was
Aemon
also
is a
bullied a
product of
lot
his
as a
choices.
kid.
yeah,
And she
he was
couldn't
hella
have raised-
bullied. He was
She
hella
could have
bullied.
raised them
bullied.
better. She was in an abusive relationship since
Agreed.
the womb. Her father was abusive to her. She was in a child marriage with this old creepy man.
Groomed her.
Yeah, she had 2 kids by 17 or something.
This is generational.
To be
It started
fair,
with her.
Yeah.
Feel
To be fair, I know this isn't all her fault for sure, but like realistically, they've done a really good job showing the parenting skills with her compared to Rhaenyra, where we had that moment in this episode with Baela and Rhaenyra. I think it was Baela, yeah, and she,
Yes, Bela.
yeah, and she was like
Yes.
treating her as if she was one of her own. She, like telling her stories of her grandmother, just doing everything right. Whereas Alicent wouldn't even be like, "Hey, I'm sorry you lost your kid." Instead, she was like, "Hey, let's go on a parade. You know, let's
exactly.
Celtics in 5. You know, she
But
was
her
over here just, like,
daughter-
going crazy
Okay,
about
ain't
it.
nobody
daughter
talking
had
about your
to play
basketball
empathy.
team. Don't do that.
To be fair, it wasn't her decision to do that. That was a suggestion from her father.
She didn't go against it, and you even
Which-
were going crazy about that.
Right.
What I'm
Yeah,
saying
she
is-
didn't go against
what
it
I'm-
and
what I'm-
listen to
Alicent-
Helena.
Go ahead.
Alicent and Rhaenyra are both products of their dads. Let's
Mhm.
Yeah.
remind them, because Viserys was kind. He was the conciliator? That's what they
Yep.
called him, right? He was
Yeah.
he was peacemaking, right? Otto was opposite. He was a schemer. He was the manipulator. Like he was the little devil on Viserys' shoulders so that Viserys didn't have to. And look who that basically reflects in their daughters, right? Like
Mhm.
Alicent is scheming, manipulative, and she has a little bit more of a conscience. So it freaks her out that all of this has come to fruition, because it's not going to work out for her the same as it's going to work out for her dad, because her dad's a man. She's not. And Rhaenyra is she's more pragmatic about it. She knows she's been fighting this battle her whole life. Alicent hasn't. She's had everything handed to her, groomed into a marriage against her, basically coerced into it. But the reality is she is just now realizing she has little to no power, and Rhaenyra has always known about it. She's always maneuvered around it. So that's the difference. That I like is the difference that they're showing, while also showing that differences in their mothering too.
Yeah. Like she actively
I
tried
love
to
it.
avoid, real quick, she actively tried to avoid the situation that Alicent is in for as long as possible. Because she was like, as soon as I have babies, nothing is up to me.
Right.
I think one actually was raised with a sense of agency and purpose in herself, and the other one just wasn't. right?
Yeah.
So we're expecting somebody who's if we were looking at their brains, and if this is real life, we looked at their brains, her brain wouldn't be developed, right? Like, and she's tried late in the game to get some agency, and she thought she had influence and power, and still she was used by the people, the men around her the same way. So I mean, I'm not passing off because she's still a crappy mom, but she wasn't raised to be.
It wasn't right. Yeah, she wasn't raised right.
Yeah. So I mean, but I love that shot. Whoever was directing this episode, that shot where he just kind of zoomed in on her as it was sinking in, the rage in her eyes just can still. Oh man,
The sound design. You could
That
hear the
was
volume
despair.
turn down, like it's focusing the inside of her head and being like she's not hearing the
It was like that
combos.
Homelander stuff. You know, when Homelander loses it,
without needing a music cue or anything like that. This show knows how to use silence so well, and every actor puts their whole being into their character, and I don't know, that's just amazing.
Oh yeah, I love it. I absolutely. There's nothing that been making me happier than watching the High Towers get nay-nayed between Otto at the end of last season and Alicent this season. The roosters are coming home to hatch. I don't even know if that's the right saying. But I am
coming home to roost.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I'm just happy. I am so happy because the thing is, they were so scheming. They had this grand plan, this grand design. They were John Hammond in it, right? We just gonna make some dinosaurs. We gonna make money. This is gonna be great. And then the Raptors decided to raptor, and so I am absolutely loving it, especially when she's at the table and all of a sudden all of them are like, oh no. Yeah, Aemon, including Mr. OnlyFans foot fetish guy. He's like, yeah, Aemon, and she's like, how could this? She had that shot Pikachu meme face,
right?
Yeah.
Can you
Rhaenyra would have told her.
Doing all this stuff,
tried to tell her,
and they in your face betray you. Like, look you in your face. At least Christian Cole looked down, but I also think he's trying to survive. And he knows if that's gonna happen to the king. I know this guy don't like me. I better.
That's his own brother. He's his own brother. He could care less about you. Right.
Yeah. So he's a rat. Like, I hate him. I didn't think I could hate anybody more than like Ramsay and Joffrey.
Bro, he is as hated.
Because neither of them are bitches. Because neither of them are bitches. Kristen Cole is a bitch. That's why. And I don't like bitchness in men. I don't
know.
Like
Joffrey's a bitch
in men. I don't like that shit.
Like,
I don't like that shit.
No, for real. I'm with Vanessa. Like, I listen to him and think about Kristen Cole.
Did he ever willingly go into battle, Joffrey? Didn't he avoid it?
Yeah,
he was bloodthirsty, but he's also a kid.
He was too busy traumatizing prostitutes, other than like doing what he was supposed to do.
He's a psychotic kid, but he's a bitch. He's a
no. It don't matter about. He's got bitch assness in him. Like, he's got something. So he's a hypocrite. I don't like him. I don't like him.
It's the hypocrite part.
And when you
it's the
ever
hypocrite.
see like.
Ooh,
And you ever see a strong woman, a woman that you have a good guy with her, and she just fucking like not even a bad boy, you fucking a bitch. Like that's mad at that. Like, what, him?
Yeah.
But really? I have really one question though. Miguel, what did you think of the episode?
I thought that what's weird is that I was honing in at, okay, we've lost Rhaenys. I'm like, is anybody gonna have a moment like that? And to me, the moment that, like, because I liked the episode, but the moment was when Corlys had his moment with his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And how there was that reassurance of like, we need you, like, get back on the field. Like, it sucks, we lost grandma, but we need you now. And I love that moment. And I don't know, Kristen Cole. Listen, it's an effed up show. It's an effed up characters. You look for the most sane person, if you will. Good luck with that. Damien is in the haunted house and he's loving, I guess, being there. It's a wild episode, and I love that for this episode. We just got to spend time in people's mindsets and see how, not measure them, see how effed up they are or how effed up they are on the battlefield, but just spend time with them. And I'm very intrigued to see where they follow up with what they teased with Rhaenyra at the end. We're sitting in a room full of books and maps detailing who is a dragon rider and where that can lead to House Blood or House Red.
Yeah. Speaking of fucked up, we kind of do got to talk about Daemon going down on his mother. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Do we have to?
Rhaenyra's
Man.
mother
I'm
too.
sorry.
It was like
There's
Rhaenyra's
that
mother.
haunted, and there's that. That's that bad dream. It's like, did you sleep? Did you have a bad dream last night? I heard you say, I don't want to talk about it.
I never dream.
I don't want to talk about it.
But are we
They
surprised
could
that the
waterboard
man?
that out of me.
No.
But are we
right.
surprised that the man who married his niece and after would have a dream like that?
No.
Yeah, at this point,
But
I'm
I
not
think-
surprised.
What I
Oh,
think
yeah.
is every single part of his subconscious is like trying to convince him that he is justified in going against her.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's
Yep.
having all of these hallucinations and these dreams,
Yep.
because he's just inherently a selfish person. He's never done anything that was not directly for his own benefit. And I think
mean,
marrying Rhaenyra was directly for his own benefit too.
But he
did
had
one thing that
moments. This
wasn't-
was weird him that I didn't like him at first in season 1, but there's this moment like when my favorite moment of his was when he helped his brother up the steps. And he helped him put the crown on. Like, that was the only one time that I'm like, okay, there's a brother right there.
There is a correlation
parallel.
of both of there's a correlation between both Aemon and Daemon, obviously. But the fact of it in that vision, the previous episode, is that Aemon is the physical embodiment of who Daemon is when he crossed that line. But even then, for Daemon, he still has a crux with his family because he still has love and respect for Rhaenyra, even though he's still trying to scheme against her. He still has love and respect for his brother, even though he's still trying to scheme, want to crave for power and everything like that. But
Does he?
Aemon has no love and respect for any
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
brother at all, right? So when he crossed that line, I'm going to do this. Now, both have committed murders, both have killed people, obviously, especially Daemon. But the fact that Aemon is the fact in terms of the brother relationship is kind of parallel to what he would have if Daemon crossed that line with Viserys. He would have done exactly the same thing, but he never did because he still loved his brother. Aemon has no love for Aegon at all. Because that's their relationship of he was picking on me ever since we were kids and always thought he was superior to me, but I'm the person who's more equipped for the throne. But he gave that same monologue to Rhaenyra, talking to when they were going back and forth right before he left to go to Harrenhal. Hey, I was a well-trained brother. I was right for battle and all stuff. And then Viserys, he was weak. And all those things is mirroring each other.
Yeah,
which
I
is
agree
funny
with Mike.
because that's the. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I just agree with Mike because the truth of the matter is with Daemon, I think he's trying to convince himself like he is no nonsense, like he is heartless, that subconsciously like, oh, like, this happened, but if I die in battle, it's fine. Like realistically, when those kids died, even before that, the end of last season, he was emotionally compromised. That rocked him. He absolutely does love and respect his family. He just is some trash. Like he'll betray anybody, but he still loves and respects his family. And I think that he tried to perpetuate in his mind that he doesn't care, but that's why he's dealing with these conflictions. Like it's actually, I initially thought like, oh, okay, like he thinks that he's this good person. He thinks internally like, I'm a terrible person. Like I can do whatever I want to, but he actually does have a heart. He does have a heart for his past brother. He does have a heart for his wife. He just does things. And I think that's what makes them so interesting as characters, like Mike said, because if they ever score up against each other, honestly, Aemon may win. Because he doesn't care. Like there's nothing that he will burn everyone around him if he needed to actually get to Daemon's killing.
Well, there's a difference though. Aemon's a sneak attacker. He's come from behind almost everything he's done when it comes to like violence or taking something. Daemon's pretty straight up. And it's funny because the same council that didn't want Daemon in the court because they thought he was going to go after his brother is the same council that put Aemon in charge. Because again, it's kind of like the Tyrion thing. I wish I was the monster you thought I was. Now, I'm not saying Daemon's a good guy or anything like that, but he has a code. And I think Sam's right. I think he's fighting against like, I could be more ruthless. Like I could be this, and Aemon's that. And I think that, well, I won't say anything about that because I know that part. Anyway, but yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what that was, bro.
I was treading carefully too, Ant. But I did
Not
my
asking
job.
no questions. Not asking no questions. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we got to talk about the scene all the blood rights. Miss Rainier was on her Ned Stark. We got to start researching. I think we have the highest probability. Someone on this in this panel has a high probability of being a Targaryen. Pretty sure. Maybe.
Wait, my ancestors effed one of them.
I shaved my head to hide my ancestry.
Valerian.
Yeah, we Valerian over here. Let's talk about it.
My dad survived the Dune of old Valeria.
It ain't me. I ain't seen no bald Targaryens out there,
So there's a
I know
book
I'm a
thing.
red shirt in Westeros.
Quiet, Riley speaking. Hold on.
There's a book thing that I don't know if I should bring up or not because it may or may not happen.
Don't
Don't just say a theory.
People watching this haven't also. They don't want to get spoiled.
You don't know that. Yeah. You don't know their lives.
But it's something that I don't know whether or not they're actually going to do.
I'm saying don't.
It's HBO. Anything's possible.
You said don't do it. Okay,
Mr. Cole says don't do it.
Oh well,
then I'll do it. Then I'll do it.
You should know better.
No, don't do it.
Okay, fine, I won't. But no, it's just about one of the potential dragon riders, and it seems like they're not taking any of the direct characters from the novel/history book that we have on Targaryen history.
Don't mention
like
that.
they're kind of making their own characters from scratch. But I wonder if they'll have. Like they seem to start to have kind of like the same like patterns as far as character traits in history, even if they're not the exact same characters. So
look at that, Mike.
No.
Because me and Mike
I don't
talked
know
about
what
it. We almost mentioned it too because we were wondering. But we think
yeah, I know exactly.
I would just say in the chat. Yeah. I would just put.
I'm not gonna read the chat.
I'm gonna close the private chat because I went out of my way not to read the book.
Okay.
I just put some fake stuff in there. I was just trolling.
Y'all can text.
Yeah, we don't know that.
How about that?
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Everybody switch.
Never mind.
She's like, no private chats.
How realistic is it that they can look through these little old 1,000-year-old scrolls and then track it to a current alive person?
Right.
I'm trying to think that was reality,
got
though, right?
ancestry
It's
out
fiction.
there, bro.
It's written fiction.
But that was reality, though, right? Like, so
yes,
back in the day, they had these wedding alliances, and they'd be like, "My great grandmother sat on this throne, so I can conquer your country." And
that's how we found about Jon Snow.
Keenan, can you say that out loud?
Wait, what?
No,
can you say that out loud?
I do just love the idea of Rhaenyra just in a library somewhere, just trying to figure out which one of her ancestors had the most hoes. Like
it's so frustrating because Keaton always has the funniest, the best stuff to say, but then he always types it out.
Always
and never
puts it in
says
the
it.
chat.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
That's because I don't like interrupting people.
Oh, those comments are amazing.
It's fine. You just gotta find the right one.
But yeah, it's one of those. It's just gonna be funny because I remember that first time when I was watching Game of Thrones and Ned Stark realizes, like, wait a minute, all the Baratheon kids got dark hair. What's going on here? Because in Westeros, apparently, like genetics never mixes up at all. Which and so I've still been laughing at Rhaenyra from season 1 when she married a black man with white hair. And then had all those white kids with dark hair, and was shocked that people would dare be like, "Huh? I wonder." I'm still laughing at that because they're going to be going through these books and stuff, and I'm like, I mean, there's an easier way to guess. I mean,
do we think the guy in the pub that said I'm a Targaryen, do you think he'd come back into play?
Right.
Or no?
I feel like he might.
Yeah, especially on the Valyrian side, it's like look for black people with white cornrows. See if they can talk to dragons.
That's why I think that dude's bald. I think that's why that guy is bald because I think he doesn't want the attention. Yeah, because a black dude walking around with white hair is pretty.
It might be him. It might be him.
I think he might be. Yeah. So
always shave your head. Like,
bro,
always
you know that's you. You look just like your daddy.
But that's fans are pointing out the difference between Catelyn Stark and how she treated Jon Snow, and how Rhaenys was going up for his bastard son, being like, he needs to be raised up. He saved your ass. Get him a title. Get him some money. What are you doing? Take care of your son. You deadbeat. Yeah, exactly. And so I thought that was interesting. There's a lot of comparison and parallels between the like shitty moms and good moms. And shitty dads and good dads.
There's also a difference in that, right? Like, so Catelyn was traumatized by the cheating from that because she didn't expect it. But also, I can't remember if it's the book or the show, but she did this whole long speech about like she was like, John would never betray me. He loves me. And she's like, yeah, he loves you. But is his great grandchildren gonna love you when they come after your seat and kill your great grandchildren and try to take the throne? I think. As a book, okay. So because and you're like, in history, that's what happens. Like Tywin Lannister wasn't wrong. Like, he wasn't. We might not like what he did, but he wasn't wrong in the game they were playing. Ned died because he didn't realize the game. They were good in the country. You can't bring that to the city life, and he just. I mean,
too much honor.
Ned was trying to be nice too. It wouldn't have been me. As soon as I found out, I would have seen every Robin, every Sparrow. All of them would have been singing. All of them
dragons flying notes through the air.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
this baby, she's a bastard.
That's the thing. And so it's getting really good. And I don't like I'm not super familiar with everything that happens as far as the book goes. I've had a couple things spoiled for me, but not a lot. And so I'm in territory now where I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And so I'm really I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I felt like this last episode ended on a really funny note, though, because the way her and Jacaerys looked at each other, it felt like an Ocean 11 kind of vibe. Like, oh man, we scheming now. We got us a plan. And I was like, seems happier than normal, but okay, I'll see where it goes. And then on the other side of that, my man is still smoking in King's Landing. Like that was wild how that played out. But I know y'all mentioned it before, but oh my god, Olivia Cook did some hard acting in this episode. Like, oh, just that one scene, that zoom in scene, I was like, man, this is
look with the Foot King. The fact that like she looked and was like, even him was just like, nah, go with the kid. Go with the kid.
Everybody's having their episodes where they're shooting for an Emmy. I feel like because they're all going in because I was wondering how they were going to follow up as wild as episode 4 was, and I feel like they did it exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah,
I agree. All right. Do you guys want to do last thoughts rating?
All right.
Sure.
All right, Bizzy. You first.
So obviously after the experience that was episode 4, it makes sense that they needed to kind of wind down a little bit, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this was still a really good episode. Dialogue was brilliant. Acting, of course, fantastic. Just seeing some of these characters, like the aftershock of what happened in episode 4 with Corlys and then Bela having to step up, and even Kristen Cole, who like looked defeated. It's just it was all around interesting episode. I'm giving it an A-, and again, I'm stoked for more.
Ronin, what about you?
I am eager to see where the paths lead now with the game plan and the fact that for the Targaryens, this could be a make or break 3 episodes because Daemon is plotting his own thing, and then Junior is trying to macho up, wearing his mother. So I'm very intrigued to see where the paths lead and to see if anybody loses an edge within the next 3 hours of this season. And I give it an A. I don't think there's been a bad episode this season thus far. It's good to have this show that is as freakish as it is. It keeps you engaged. So yeah, I think I give it an A, and I give Olivia Cook a 10 out of 10. No, a 12 out of 10.
Ant, what about you?
That's not me. Oh, that's me.
Wow.
No. So I think he was right. Like everybody has knocked it out the park, and like they've read some a good scene to like just dig into. And I love it when a show can just be in a room with characters talking, and you still feel the stakes and the tension, and again, just the use of silence. Um, yeah, this is an A+ for me. I don't think they've had a bad episode for me. And some shows would rely just on the shock value or something gruesome happening, right? This show, it'll have something to shock. It'll have something that's like realistically of like of brutality, but just the moments of the feelings of the characters and how trapped they are in the roles. Like I just love it. So A+.
Right. Final thoughts and rating.
Yeah, I will also go ahead and say that I'll give it an A. Just like Ant said, not every episode, has to have something crazy happen for it to be thoroughly enjoyable. All the actors did a great job. I loved the way that Bela is standing out in particular this season, and also there was a slight parallel I noticed between Rhaenyra struggling to rule and Aegon struggling to rule. Because Aegon is like dumb and unexperienced, and that's why nobody wants to hear what he has to say. But Rhaenyra is just a woman, and nobody wants to hear what she has to say. So it's awesome. There's so much to unpack with every episode. A.
Sam, what about you?
For me, this is This is an easy A. I think the whole season, it's just been quality. I mean, whether it's the cinematography, the imagery, the acting, but I think the progression of the story, they haven't missed a step. Even though this wasn't an action-packed episode, it was very content heavy. It's very conscious of where it wanted to put the storyline. I mean, when you got a character like this, and in this episode, this is the first time I felt like maybe she's trying to teach Daemon a lesson, not just trying to torture him. But at the same exact time, like, I don't know what her agenda is. I've even questioned whether or not she actually exists because I haven't seen her interact with anybody but Daemon, which is crazy storytelling. So I think that this is absolutely an A to. It's not an A+, but it's absolutely A. I ain't gonna give it an A- for me.
Keaton, what about you?
I'm agreeing with Sam. I give it an A. This season's been remarkable. I'm super excited, but also nervous to see where this all goes, because I think I might have said this once before, but I feel like this is a prequel about what happened to all the black people in Westeros. Like, because by the time we get to Game of Thrones, none of us are there, and so I'm hella nervous. I'm nervous about what happens to all of us. I'm telling you, man.
The characters, Keaton, like it's like The Walking Dead. They killed one more. They killed one more.
Right. I'm just like, man, like it's so many of us. By the time we get to Game of Thrones, it's 2 of us, and both of them are slaves. I'm like, I hate this. I don't like this one bit, man.
Wait, Zaro Zoan Doxos, like he was rich, but he was like the only one.
Yeah, they locked his ass up.
Pirate.
Yeah.
The pirate.
They locked him up.
Mike,
They locked him up. They locked him.
Solitary confinement.
Nephew,
But
your
he wasn't
thoughts,
a slave.
firing. That's true.
And the one guard in Dorne, like there was one guard in Dorne. They messed
Another
up that
one.
story. Yeah.
The one.
Another one. Anyway, and also I was say on this trope. Also, Bela said, Rhaenys, she ended in fire, and war and everything, just the way my mother did, and just the way I want to go. And I was like, oh, no. Yeah. Again, I said it again, protect black women. But anyway, I give this an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the show. I think, again, the pacing of this, even though some people probably have a pet peeve about like, oh, well, nothing's happening, no dragons. Like, the best of Game of Thrones, why we love Game of Thrones so much, is the dialogue, is the interaction, and the acting in the that's conveying, even when there's no lines being spoken, but just how people are just emoting in their characters. And I feel like, again, shout out to women in this episode. Yeah, Olivia, I hope you get Emmy down your way. It's coming. It's coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. This was actually one of the better. Yeah, I think based on Olivia's performance alone, this was an excellent episode. I would give it an A based on her performance alone. I could not believe the range of emotions she went through. Her and and Darcy is so good at doing the whole face acting thing. Excellent. Yeah, I love Aemond. I cannot wait to see him grow more villainous. He is a much more suitable villain than Aegon. Aegon is too inept and stupid to really like dislike beyond the fact that he's a rapist. Like, hey, he's a rapist, but he's an idiot too. So I'm like, whatever. I don't hate him enough to like. I don't care enough to hate him. But the show's an A. Love it. So we're gonna go around and tell where can everyone find you guys. Go ahead, Bizzy.
You did so good today. Instagram, Bizzy Reactions. You can find me over here doing reviews on TeamJVS and Bizzy Brown everywhere else.
Ronin, what about you?
YouTube, Twitter, the socials, the whole shebang.
And TikTok.
Sir.
For however long it lasts, yeah, sure.
And what about you?
Oh, I try my best not to be found.
Damn.
What?
All right, Batman. All right, Ant-Man. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, so twitch.tv/onlyxanchors, and also I have a YouTube now, OnlyXAnchors Gaming. Check it out.
Sam, are you gonna plug yourself? It's your channel. I don't know.
I am not plugging myself.
Find Sam on Bizzy Brown's channel.
That is not gonna happen. Keenan, you go.
Keenan, you go.
Well, I'm gonna plug. You can find me at TeamJVS on YouTube. On where are we at, Sam? We're at YouTube. We got a Patreon. We got TikTok. TeamJVS. But also, me and my friend Dr. Amelia Brown run a podcast called Bat Therapy. We examine mental health through the lens of comics and film. We just started a new season, so you can find us at bat-therapy.com. You can also look up Bat Therapy anywhere where you listen to podcasts. You can find us everywhere. Check us out. We're doing some fun things.
Mike, what about you?
You can find me. I'll be happy to plug myself. But yeah, I just made a joke there. But yeah, it was
funny joke.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. I just followed a nice young man today. On here on the panel. I sent him a little wave. His name is Bizzy. I sent him a wave. He waved back. He followed me back. So now I'm complete. He told me to get back on TikTok. I came back for him. So yeah. And then you can find me also next week. I'll be interviewing Natalie Portman next week. So
hey.
Oh my god.
Hey, did you tell Megan Good I said hey?
Oh, I did. Man, my mom was like, Mike, you interviewed Megan Good. I damn right I interviewed Megan Good.
You can ask Natalie about Love and Thunder?
Don't do that.
No.
It's not.
Good.
Why would you ask her about that movie?
Out of everything she's been a part of.
Ask her about Star Wars.
Wait, like, comment, share, subscribe.
I want another Natalie Portman rap. That's what I want.
Apple as a shark on whatever. Thank you.
No. I'm gonna make it very clear. You may find Vanessa Shark at Vanessa Shark on all social medias, also Multiverse of Color. Again, you're gonna find there. She's an amazing writer, amazing individual.
Right now.
You'll find all the content she'll be bringing out very soon. Also on San Diego Comic Con coming very soon. 2 weeks, we're there. We'll all be there.
God, Mike, you're
give this woman her flowers.
Thank you.
Get drunk.
Thank you. All right. Bye, y'all.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Filing out the top of
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.